my name's Carly and I am here to talk to you about Kangen Water. Kangen Water was created by a company called Enagic. Enagic is actually a 50-year-old company that originated in Japan, and they started because they wanted to mimic the living waters in the world. And so these living waters that people were drinking were living longer and they had less disease. And so Enagic discovered that what these waters had were something called active hydrogen. And so they created a series of machines that actually produce alkaline, antioxidant, hydrogen-rich water, and it is the best water we can put into our bodies. Not only is it great for our health, but it has over 70 uses in our home, which is really amazing as well. It can replace all of our household cleaning products. It can be used for cooking, drinking. It can replace laundry detergent, stain remover. It's great for our skin. And so Enagic is the original equipment manufacturer of their products. They have a gold standard seal from the Water Quality Association, as well as a series of other certificates. Enagic products are in 1 in 500 homes around the US, so you might actually know somebody that has one of our products. It is endorsed by over 6,000 medical doctors, and it is global, so it is all over the world. It's in 25 different countries. And so Kangen Water, which is what these machines create, and so these machines hook up to our kitchen faucet. They actually produce 5 different types of water, and so it runs from our faucet through the machine. It filters out contaminants and chlorine, and then the water passes through platinum dipped titanium plates, and that produces antioxidant water. And so this is like the best water you can be putting into your bodies, and not to mention all of the other uses it has as well. You might have heard of it in professional sports, and there's celebrities that use it. Just to name a few: Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Grant Cardone, Kevin Hart, Jillian Michael, the Dodgers, the Lakers. It's spread pretty wide. And so active hydrogen has the therapeutic potential for over 170 diseases. That would be Parkinson's, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, Crohn's disease. There is over 170 things that this water can benefit. And so we're going to go over the 3 properties that Kangen Water has and what makes it really stand out. So there's the high level of alkalinity, the oxidation reduction potential. And so if you're not familiar with what oxidation is if you cut open an apple, you see it starts to turn brown. That is from oxidation. And so essentially that's what our body's doing over time. And then microclustered molecules, which means superior hydration. And so over time, our body's aging. And so this alkaline, antioxidant, hydrogen-rich water slows down the inflammatory process, the aging process, and it has so many benefits for our health. And so to dive in, we're going to start with how this water hydrates our body. And so I'm going to demonstrate that through this tea bag. So essentially this tea bag is our body. This is just a green tea bag and it is dry. And I'm going to start with showing you that with Aquafina. And so we're going to see just an example of how this water penetrates our cells and how it hydrates. And so this is Aquafina, and we all know that boiling water is what we need to make tea. However, this water is all either room temperature or cold. So you can see not much tea is being made. The bag is still pretty dry, so we'll give it just an extra second to get a little saturated. All right. It's pretty saturated now, not much tea is being made. We'll put it in the next cup, and I'm going to show you this with Kangen water. You can see already some tea is in there. It's starting to turn color. Perfect. So pretty quickly you can see how this is hydrating our body and how it's penetrating our cells. Fun fact, Kangen water is 6 times more hydrating than any other kind of water. And that's why it's great for professional sports and athletes. It's the best water they can be putting in their body. It helps with cramping and like energy levels, and we're going to go into that a little bit deeper. Next, I'm going to show you with Fiji water. So some might think, well, it's because the tea bag's already wet. And so now, like I said, I'll show you with Fiji water. You can see it is hydrating a little bit quicker than the Aquafina was. It's starting to turn some color. Perfect. And now I'll show you one more time with Kangen water. And it's pretty immediate when we drink this that it's hydrating our body. And so one of my favorite things about the water is that typically when I drink any other kind of water, bottled water or tap water, I feel like bloated and the sloshing around in my stomach. This water doesn't do that, so I don't feel bloated. I just feel hydrated. I also had a lot of headaches previously, and it's helped with those as well, because I was chronically dehydrated just from not drinking enough water and just not drinking quality water. All right, perfect. So you can see the demonstration here, how bright colored the Kangen waters are and how much more hydrating they are to our bodies. And next, I want to show you an example if you are taking vitamins or pre-workouts or supplements, and if you're taking that with your water, the difference between taking it with water versus Kangen water. And this tea bag is going to resemble the supplement that we're ingesting or the pre-workout, whatever we're taking with our water. Get it a little wet. All right, so you can see there's about equal amount of tea in there. And so I'll show you with if we were to take our supplement with tap water, you can see how it's like pretty dilute. And then if we were to take it with Kangen water, that's amazing how dark yellow that is. This essentially is showing you how not only hydrating this is, but how it enhances whatever it is that we're taking it with and allowing our cells to really absorb that and take it all in. So that next, I'm going to show you a pH test. And so the pH test, you can see, is a scale here. There's a scale here. So we know an acidic environment is where disease lives, cancer thrives. That's where sodas and actually Gatorade's acidic. Some waters are acidic. And then alkaline is like ultimate health. That's like raw food. That's fruits and vegetables. And fun fact about Kangen water is 1 glass of Kangen water is equivalent to 2 pounds of blueberries. And so as you can see here on the chart, it goes from like a reddish orange to a purple. And so we'll start by putting a couple. These are just regular pH drops like we would put in a pool to test. So we've got Gatorade, tap water, Aquafina, Fiji, Body Armor, Smart Water, and Kangen water. Okay, so you can see how it's pretty acidic and it goes down the line, it gets more alkaline. One thing I do want to mention when it comes to any bottled water, first fact about bottled water is it's sitting in these bottles for like 6 months to a year, sometimes even longer. And so when we're drinking bottled water, we're also ingesting a lot of microplastics and other chemicals just from it sitting in this bottle alone. But also, if you look at these bottled waters, you'll see a list of ingredients. So we shouldn't have ingredients in our water, but also one of the main ingredients you'll see is potassium bicarbonate, and that essentially means baking soda. And so this water that says alkaline, it says alkaline. This one actually says 9.5 pH. We look at it and we're like thinking that's a great choice, but it's artificially alkaline, and so that baking soda is making it artificially alkaline. And so Kangen water is not artificial. It actually goes through electricity that turns it into that antioxidant alkaline water. And so there's no chemicals added. It's natural. And so let's see if this stands the test of the pH levels. And so what I mean by that is I'm going to use this straw and I'm going to blow into each sample. I'm going to start with Fiji because we can see Aquafina, tap water, and Gatorade is already pretty acidic. I'm going to start with Fiji just to see how the pH stands, and this is going to demonstrate what happens when we drink this and if it actually stays true to the pH once it's ingested into our bodies. And so, mix it up a little bit. This is Fiji. You can see it changed slightly to more acidic. This is Body Armor. Again, this is saying alkaline water, and with the pH drops, it does appear alkaline, but let's test it. That's pretty cool to see really how acidic that is once it's in our body. It's really not holding up to that high alkaline pH once it's in our body, so it's really essentially just not doing any good. Next is Smart Water. Same thing, it went all the way to yellow, so that is very acidic. And then lastly is Kangen Water. You can see how pretty purple it is, how dark it is. Let's see what happens when it's in our body. Amazing. It's still that dark purple. It changed maybe slightly, but hardly any. And that's what's doing in our body. It's holding up to that high pH. It's staying alkaline, and that's what our body needs. Alkaline is where our body thrives, where we get that energy and what our cells need. So I'm going to demonstrate the oxidation reduction potential. And so negative ORP means optimal cellular health. That is where Kangen water stands. Positive ORP is where all of our other acidic drinks, soda, different waters live. And so that means cellular degeneration. So that's where disease and things come in. We want our body to be in a negative ORP, so negative oxidation reduction potential. And so this meter right here is going to measure the oxidation in each of these samples. And so we want a negative reading. So let's just see what these samples read. We'll start with the Gatorade. So Gatorade is around 170. Tap water is around 210. Aquafina is around 170. Now remember, these are all in the positives. Fiji is around 205. Body Armor is around 196. And Smart Water is around 207. And then lastly, let's check Kangen Water. So Kangen Water quickly drops to the negatives and it's climbing. So let's see where it's at. And Kangen Water can be as close as negative 700 when it comes right out of the machine. So this sample right here is around negative 218, which is amazing for our cells. And so that just goes to show the oxidation reduction potential of all of these samples here, and really where our cells want to be, where our body wants to be for optimal cellular health. And so Kangen water is the only water that you can be drinking that is standing in the negative ORP, whereas these other ones that are alkaline and they have a high pH, that's great. And even though it's artificial, it can still be beneficial to our bodies. But it really just doesn't have the other properties to be as healthy as a choice as Kangen water. And so next, I'm going to show you what happens when we add like a sip of Kangen water to each of these samples, and we'll see if it helps bring the body back to an alkaline state. And so you'll notice that it does. They start to get more alkaline. And you'll see that tap water, it's going to take more Kangen water just because it's pretty acidic. And you'll also notice that the samples are going back to their acidic state because they are just so acidic that it would take more Kangen to actually make them truly alkaline. So I think that's really cool to see that as well. And so lastly, what I want to demonstrate for you is how the 11.5 Kangen water can clean our fruits and vegetables, and this is really cool to see. So I have the 11.5 in this jug here. And so I have 2 glasses of tomatoes, and the first one I'm going to cover with the 11.5 Kangen water. And this one I'm going to show you with our tap water, which is what most of us clean our fruits and vegetables with. And so we know that pesticides are oil-based, and so water just cannot strip the oil-based pesticides off of them, and that's why Kangen water is so important and so powerful to be able to clean our fruits and vegetables. So I put the Kangen water in first, so I'll show you. I'll rinse them back and forth and drain it. Perfect. So you can see how that's yellow. Let's see what happens with the tap water. And so the tap water is pretty clear. I think this is so crazy, and really to think about, like, to pick up this glass of yellow water, would you drink this? Like, no, absolutely not. So why would we be putting this in our body when we're not properly cleaning our fruits and vegetables? So I love to see that. I think it's crazy how powerful this water truly is. And then one last thing I just wanted to show you was how to test that there's active hydrogen coming through the machine, which I think is really cool. So you can use a lighter and hold it under the flame of the water coming out, and you'll hear a popping sound. So we'll compare that to our tap water, and so I'll show you that test, tap water versus Kangen water, and you'll hear that popping sound under the spigot with the hydrogen, which I think is really cool. And then also to see the active hydrogen, you can actually see it in a glass of water. And so when it comes right out of the machine, I will show you how you see all the active hydrogen bubbles in it, which is so amazing. It makes it look cloudy, but it's actually all that active hydrogen in our water that we're ingesting that has so many health benefits. So I think that is so amazing. So check this out. That concludes my demonstration, and I hope that this was helpful to you to see all the properties of the water, truly how powerful Kangen water is. And so if you're local to me and you are looking for trying the water, I am more than happy to give you water samples to try it out for yourself, fall in love with it, and we can talk about purchasing a machine for your business or your home. And any questions you might have, please reach out to me. It's what I'm here for, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Stick around for just a few extra minutes and hear some testimonials from other people that have this in their home and all that it's done for their health.
Believe in it. It's a very good water. I started in October of 2023. I weighed over 200 pounds. I've lost 32 pounds. I have diabetes. My diabetes have come down 1 point. So I'm very excited on this Kangen Water journey.
Before this came into my life, I was having about 15 migraines a month. I tried everything, the neurologist, the x-rays, the MRIs, the pills, the tumor medication, everything I could to get rid of these migraines because I just simply could not live life. This product, which has absolutely changed the game. So as I said, was on everything before, had tried everything before, and then was on nothing. The only thing that changed in my life was the water that I was drinking. So the Magic Kangen water machine has absolutely changed my life.
I started drinking it maybe 6 months ago, and since then I have lost almost 10 pounds, and I don't have any more like abdominal bloating. I don't swell as much anymore. My skin has cleared up.
And for a little over a year, I love it. And when I first tried it, the thing that struck me the most is that as much as I could drink, I never felt bloated. And then when I learned about all the different properties that it has, I started using it on my plant. This particular plant was basically dead, and when I started giving it the water, it started to come to life, and now you should see it. It's like all over the place. So I highly recommend, give it a try for yourself. Taste it for yourself, experience how you feel, and then once you do that, it's game over.
Kangen water has improved my life significantly. I used to have 4 to 5 migraines a week, not knowing what it was like to not have one. After 2 to 3 weeks of drinking the water consistently, I didn't have any for several weeks. And then as time went on, I noticed maybe like 1 to 2 in 6+ months, which is crazy to consider, going from like 4 to 5 a week, not knowing what it was like to not have one. And now I'm able to enjoy my days so much better than I did before.
There are so many different things that I love about my Kangen water machine, and myself and my family have benefited from our machine in so many different ways over the years. But one of my favorite testimonials that I have from my Kangen machine actually pertains to my pet. So I have a dog, and prior to me getting my hands on my machine, he unfortunately was suffering severely from getting kidney stones. I had him on medicated dog feed that was supposed to try and get ahead of the stones, try and break them down so that they would be passable, but it wasn't working. I got my Kangen machine. Now, because I was drinking the water, of course, I'm gonna give my pets the water as well. I want them to have the best of the best. Only thing that changed in his diet, in his day-to-day routine, was the water. So for, like I said, 5 years, he was experiencing getting these stones so routinely. And then once he started drinking the water, they had completely disappeared. And so I am so grateful and excited to say that my dog, ever since I got my Kangen machine, has not had to get a emergency surgery. And he has been able to get off of his medicated dog feed, which has been huge. That has saved me thousands of dollars every single year, which has more than paid for the machine. For the last 4 years, for him to be kidney stone free, I owe a big thank you to my Kangen machine and the water for helping him with that health issue he was having.
I got headaches after 2 months, and I used to be a person that dealt with headaches like almost every day. And then I came outside to record this. You can hear my dog in the background, and Roxy and Dewey. We got a dog about 2 months ago, and it had the troubles pooping. It was constipated, and then when it did, it would be bleedy and all that. We did all this vet stuff and tried to get it to go away. Nothing more. And then right away it went to my head, why don't I start feeding on my 9.5 water? Started doing that. Literally 2 weeks later, since, he's been pooping just fine, and it's just amazing what it's done.
Change your water, change your life. Thanks for listening.